Questions have arisen, such as who is he, what is he, where did he come from, is he a creature of a foreign power, is he a creep, is he dangerous, is he smart, dumb, nice to his parents, real, put on, crazy, sane, man, woman, robot, what is this?
I like manners!
My dear friends, welcome to Hollywood Star Graves in Switzerland Part 2. I have some pretty cool stuff to show you in Part 2, including the Charlie Chaplin Museum and a quick visit to a junk store. In the junk store we found a spooky painting. You'll see that soon. And not forgetting, of course, Charlie Chaplin's grave. We will be paying our respects there as well. Follow me. Walk this way. Beautiful weather to greet us the next morning after our hotel stay. Lovely weather. Can't complain the whole trip. We were blessed. So we pulled over to have a look at the beautiful view, and I could hear this sort of fracas behind me, and I turned round and there was this egg-shaped person shouting and waving his hands round frantically and speaking rapidly in French. I thought, well, I'm not sure what he's going on about. He was basically telling the cars to stop, and they were making them pull over to the side of the road. And I thought, well, maybe the local sanatorium has an escaped prisoner, or patient as they call them. Anyway, I turned back to the view, trying to ignore him. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Ah dear, let's go back to the view anyway. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? The beautiful crystal blue alpine water. Fabulous. Wouldn't it be nice to live down there? Wouldn't that? I bet that would cost a fortune, that place. So that's the reason why, because of this huge truck coming up the road, which if you pause the video you can see there's quite enough space to the driver's right. There was no real need to block the traffic going down the hill, but I guess it made him feel important. So we popped into a junk store. Some lovely old records there, some blues music. Ooh, Sidney Bechet. Anybody ever heard of him? A sculpture. I wonder if that's from the Mad Killer case I covered on Patreon. That might be worth something. All these collection plates here, collector's plates, Franklin Mint type things, they are from the Swiss painter Albert Anker. You'll see them all over junk shops in Switzerland. Les Menteurs. Okay. Les Dominos. Les Audibaux. Now look at this weird painting of hooded figures praying in a dark forest at the site where CERN would be built in the future. Actually, I looked at this and I knew straight away it was a copy of a famous artist, of a famous painting by a famous artist. Couldn't figure out who it was at the time, and when I was driving away about half an hour later, it came into my head. The artist is Arnold Böcklin, a famous Swiss painter. Check out his works, some interesting, eerie, dark, gothic type paintings. It does look quite weird, doesn't it? Otherwise, I would have bought this if it had been an original work. I love weird paintings like that. But here we are. The CERN scientists, time travelers, going back in time to pray at the site where the CERN laboratory would be. So what else do we have? It's not the best junk shop, I must say, but a couple of interesting things. Old skis. I think I'm getting quite choosy. To young people, this is probably like fabulous antiques. Because I've been around a while, yeah, it's not fabulous antiques, really. Old planes, carpentry planes. Because I remember as a kid, when I went with my mum to the antique auctions, oh, there's Audibaux's top hat. What is that? What is that? Some sort of, I have no idea, measuring instrument, decanters. Yeah, when I was with my mum and dad, we went to antique auctions, and there was fabulous stuff, In junk stores too, so-called junk stores, you would see absolutely amazing stuff. Look at that old monkey. Oh my goodness, rather creepy. And over the decades, it just got worse. There was just crap. And nowadays, when I go to flea markets, it's like second-hand clothing and children's toys. It's crap. Maybe it's better where you are. But I guess that's quite nice. These clocks are quite common around Switzerland. Maybe it's not in the USA. You might not see something like that every day. And these regulator clocks are everywhere. I've had heaps of them. They just don't get the price. The gramophones too. Same as sewing machines. There's many of them around. There's no shortage of them. Walking sticks either. People drop off the earth and leave their sticks behind. And the government grabs their money and gives the sticks to the junk store. Model trains, somebody else must have died. Their collection of model trains, which they no doubt paid a fortune for, because they're expensive. Look at those creepy clowns, I hate them. I'm being in a real whiny mood today, aren't I? Sorry. I haven't had my second coffee yet. But these trains are very expensive. Look at this sweet little tin can. I do like that. That's very attractive, early 1900s. And that looks like a ship's compass, doesn't it? And there's miners' lamps, crappy wood carvings. So we are now at Charlie Chaplin Museum. The Charlie Chaplin Museum. That's his house, by the way. We will be going in there as well. But first, we have to go and get our tickets. And that's the actual museum. And you know what? One of my customers said that they had been there and it was fantastic. I had put off for years actually going there. And I'm so glad I did now because they did a fantastic job of it. I really enjoyed it. Odd as well. We both enjoyed it. Yeah, so get my tickets.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
There's your receipt.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Say welcome to the Charlie Chaplin
Welcome
Museum.
to Charlie Chaplin.
Thank you, madam. So this is where you first come in. They've set it up like a little cinema. And I will let you watch now. Pretend you're sitting next to me, and I will join you soon.
We shall have peace throughout the world, that we shall abolish wars and settle all international differences at the conference table, that we shall abolish all atom and hydrogen bombs before they abolish us. The future of the modern world demands modern thinking.
I must admit I was not expecting that. That was a great surprise. This street scene, and the mannequins look so realistic. That one was even walking. And the windows have sort of, old scenes of Charlie Chaplin's movies. Oh, I could do with the sausage. I beg your pardon, sir. Yeah. Oh, that was great. I really like how they've done the whole tour. I can really recommend it. Madam, 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 what are you carrying in your basket? Somehow I recognize that guy, but from where? I love that. Really well done. Congratulations to the Charlie Chaplin Museum for putting on such a wonderful exhibit. Shout out to my Spirit Mannequin crew on Discord. You know who you are. Let us continue. Yeah, I only had one complaint, and I wrote a letter to the Charlie Chaplin Museum because all of the staff, apart from one, were fantastic, really good. Just this one person ruined the day for us, really. But didn't ruin it, but it put a damper on it. And I demanded a written apology, and I got it too. They said they're going to retrain her. Oh dear. So I'm not going to mention what the incident was. The letter of apology I got, or the email of apology, was enough. They were happy that I enjoyed the rest of the show, so I'll leave it at that. Oh, look, there's Mr. Hardy and Mr. Laurel. It looked like Ollie, but not like Stan. That looks like Richard Moreira's The Night Stalker. Doesn't really look like Michael Jackson, but it looks realistic, I guess, but it's not really him. An old barber shop. I wish they would bring back old barber shops. I know they do have them in America. We don't have them here in Switzerland. You just get charged either a fortune for a haircut, a fortune, $60 I have to pay for a haircut, and there's nothing fancy, just a short haircut. They have sort of these, Turkish and Iraqi barbers for $25, but each time you go it's a different barber, and some of them are absolutely terrible, so you can't trust them. Wonderful. So you go down these stairs and you can see Charlie also going down the stairs. It's a very narrow. I can't imagine that it's sort of for people for wheelchair access. Not very good. But maybe they have another entrance and exit to get down to the lower level. And it's quite loud. The music, I guess it's for the effect. I've had to sort of tone it down for this video, or you won't be able to hear me talking to you. But yeah, they spent a lot of money on this museum. There's Charlie hiding under the table. He's also seen the price of the haircut in Switzerland. There's always something to look at. Everywhere you look, there's something going on. Very, very good. I absolutely love this waxwork of Paulette Goddard. Isn't that manic? Fabulous. It really sort of captures her character in the films with Charlie Chaplin. Really. Apparently she died in Switzerland. She moved there also, after Charlie did, or beforehand, and died there in 1990. I didn't know that, actually. I just found that out. She looks like a real temperamental, tempestuous woman, doesn't she? And apparently she was. Ha 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 ha. Ah, the cutting room floor, and the nanny state has been snipping away ever since. For our own good, of course. So this was Charlie Chaplin's original stage costume, or one of them. It's not a copy, it's original. So that was really nice to see. I love this restaurant scene they've got set up here. With the maitre d' looking very arrogant. Mwah! Mwah! He's saying, it's delicious. I have a lonely lady sitting in the corner. Shall I buy you a cognac, my dear? May I sit with you a while? When I went in and I saw this woman at the corner of my eye, I really thought she was talking on the phone. I didn't realize it was a waxwork. It took me a few minutes to figure it out on it too. Then I realized she just wasn't moving at all. But they've done that well. They really have done that well. So they've actually got this imitation food on the tables. And if you look at it closely, it's got little bits of mold growing on it, which they've purposely done to make it look like time has stood still, but still a little decay has set in. Very subtle and very good. Don't know who this geezer is. He reminds me of a bloke that used to go to the pub in Australia. He was a bit like Dr. Crippen. That's who he looks like, Dr. Crippen. Well, that's Charlie. That must be some role. I must admit, I'm not such an expert on his films. Maybe you can tell me. I mean, they really have spared no expense on these sets. They're really, really well done. And I have to applaud them for allowing you to film. I mean, they know it's good advertising, isn't it? If you show other people how it is, they're going to want to come. So they're not frightened of hiding anything. They're not frightened of any crap exhibits. They're good. And they know that. That's why they don't stop you filming. You know, a lot of places won't let you do that. But they know the value of good advertising. And look at the detail that they've went to. Amazing. I was very impressed, I must say. Even the little park here. The old iron railings. Wonderful. That cheeky smile. Oh, the Easy Street Police Station. And there is a formidable old woman there, screaming at the desk sergeant. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes. Look at that face. I love the old denim prison uniform, and the tea looks so real. I had to go and have a look at that. Very well done, Charlie Chaplin Museum. I hope it brings you lots of visitors from the US, Canada and England, and whoever else is watching in other parts of the world. Knew about this place for years and thought, oh no, you know, can Switzerland do a good job of this? But Blumenegg they have. There's old Abe Lincoln and a dolly girl above him. Yeah, so apparently Charlie Chaplin was sent into exile in 1952 for his, well, alleged communist beliefs. He denied being a communist, but what a place of exile. Woody Allen, apparently he was a great admirer of Charlie Chaplin. I tried to figure out why he would be there. So what a fantastic exile, you know, where you wait till you see the sides of his garden. I like this. They've done it up like old security boxes, haven't they? Really good. Real sort of, the bank security boxes with the exhibits in them. Very, very original. I like that. Yeah, quite sad considering, what he contributed to American film culture. Really, really an important part of Hollywood. Yeah, but I guess those were the times. The Cold War era. They were terrified of communists. And now, less said the better. So this is the outside of his house. Wonderful villa. I think this is apparently how the room was. They kept it how it was. There is his wife Una, his last wife. He had 4 wives apparently. Not bad. There is Una, standing behind her husband, the great Charlie Chaplin. And look at this. He hasn't got a garden, he's got a friggin' park. He's got a park that's incredible. Absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness, what an exile. He wasn't doing it hard, was he? My goodness. So yeah, this would have been the dining room where he shared dinners and lunches with his family, extended family. And I can't resist looking out the window again. Absolutely amazing. You can walk around the grounds, by the way. You have free access for the price of the ticket. The ticket's about $29 equivalent. See, that's for him with his family there. About $29. That gets you into the museum and the house and the grounds. You can stroll for as long as you like. You can spend the day there. That's with his extended Jewish family. I mean, they haven't forgotten anything. The museum has really gone into full detail. Snippets of newspapers of the time. Yeah, so he liked it in Switzerland apparently because he could fit in. You know, back in the 50s and 60s, they didn't really take much notice of Hollywood stars, so he could walk down the streets and go to the shops and he was unaccosted. Look at this. They've done like an affinity below and above. There was an English guy talking to me. He said, I get dizzy, I can't look at it. Is that supposed to be Sophia Loren? Yeah, it does make you feel a bit dizzy actually if you look up and down quickly. Odette wouldn't look at it. She's terrified of heights. There's Charlie in the bathroom. Very nice. Sort of like an Art Deco bathroom, isn't it? Wonderful. Now there's Albert Einstein. You know, this is good. You think it's a mirror? It's actually not. You have no reflection yourself. It's actually another room behind that. It's glass. So they've got two Albert Einstein waxworks. And it's that I just think of these wonderful surprises they have for you, which make it so special here. Is that Churchill? Yeah, I guess so. Some of the waxworks are very good. I mean, they're very lifelike. Sometimes they achieve the likeness of who they are intended to be, and sometimes not quite. Yeah, so apparently he didn't realize that the Swiss are allowed to have their shooting. It's obligatory. You know, they have to have shooting practice, and he didn't realize they did that sort of at the end of his park. There's an Italian influencer doing her thing. Well, I won't disturb you, dear. And she doesn't know who I am, as I'm anonymous, of course. Shall we compare subs? Yeah, so he tried to use his influence with the Swiss government, and he was quite influential, you know, being a big name, and he brought a lot of money to Switzerland, but he couldn't do anything about that. He had to live with that. That is part of the Swiss culture. Obligatory shooting practice. So he had to put up with it. They have it here too. I've got used to the sound. So it must have been his wife had a beautiful porcelain collection with some Swiss cow motifs. And I don't know what the violin connection is. What's that his? Did he play the fiddle? Okay, when he was 16. Oh, he bought that when he was 16. Often I don't have time to read the exhibits because I'm filming for you guys. So there he is in Switzerland, walking around in the 1950s, enjoying the culture without being accosted in the street, someone attempting to assassinate him or demand an autograph. Yeah, he didn't do it too bad in exile, did he? I could handle that exile. Love to know your feedback on what you've seen. Well, it's time to bid farewell to the Charlie Chaplin Museum and Villa, and 99.9% of the wonderful staff there. Thank you so much for making our visit special. And so our next trek will be to the grave of Charlie Chaplin and his wife Una. We had to find quite a busy city actually, and the graveyard is sort of tucked right up on a hill. You have to walk up quite a bit of a steep walk, but we got there. We soldiered on. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Life in exile. So some of you of a certain age would know that back in 1978 a couple of Polish political refugees stole Charlie Chaplin's body and held it for ransom for $600,000. Or the equivalent in Swiss francs. I mean, I've heard of a lot of harebrained schemes, but that tops it all. God. I don't know. So now they have it encased in concrete. So you're going to have a hard job. You'd need a mechanical digger to do that. So anyway, we're looking around. I've never been here before, so I really didn't know where it was. I didn't check online for what grid or whatever. I just go and search around the place. It's a nice day. Enjoy the weather. It's a sort of, as a lot of you've seen my Swiss cemetery videos, they all look very similar. Some creative gravestones and some less creative. And here we are. Una to the left and Charlie to the right. Lovely flower bed there. The graves are, they're elegant. The gravestones are elegant, I will say that. And so, rest in peace, Charles and Una. Thank you for letting me visit your villa. I very much enjoyed it, and I think that my viewers have too. And of course, there we are. The Obsolete Oddity Influencer visiting card left behind as a token of my esteem. Whoever finds it, contact me. I'd love to hear from you. If it's still there, it might be still there. Nobody might know about it. Ooh. With such happiness, I sometimes sit out on our terrace at sunset and look over a vast green lawn to the lake in the distance, and beyond the lake to the reassuring mountains, and in this mood think of nothing but enjoy their magnificent serenity. And on that note, my dear friends, I will love you and leave you. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. Please give me a thumb up. If you're not already subscribed, feel free to do so. It doesn't cost anything on YouTube. And if you want to join me on Patreon and show your support, you're going to find a whole lot more videos there that are not on YouTube. If you're feeling slightly generous, the pledges start at $3. It's not much. It's not much really for the content that I produce. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Now, this is going to be part of the giveaway prize, not the machine, but I'm going to put a few things together for the giveaway on Patreon. I hope you'll like what I have in the next week or so. A shout out to my resident artist, Amy Keaton. She so kindly sent me some items in the post all the way from America, and I was delighted to receive them. I had a bit of a battle, actually a rather large battle with Swiss Post over this. She knows all about it. I filled her in on the details, but with the help of a friend of mine working there, the packet was delivered to me. Thank you so much, Amy. And among the items, I won't show them all, but I wanted to show you this painting she has done for me. I absolutely love it, and I will be having it framed. I haven't had time yet. I've been so rushed off my feet, but thank you so much, Amy. That is so thoughtful of you. I love that design. Absolutely right up my alley. And Amy's competition, I don't know by the time you see this video if the competition's already over or whether it's still running, but her design in the background on my computer screen is part of the Patreon giveaway. Thank you so much, Amy Keaton. The next shout out is to my homegirl Jessica, looking hot in my Audibo t-shirt. You can just see the top of it there. She assures me it is one of my t-shirts, and I know it because I can see the top of that skull. So thank you so much, Jessica, for purchasing my merchandise and showing your support and your lovely smile. Everybody, feel the love. Take care, my dears. Bye-bye. We have a late edition before I finally go, because Sherry contacted me. Sherry is one of our community members, a dear and valued community member of Patreon, YouTube and Discord. If you remember a while ago, she created the Skelves little cartoon, the Skelves animation. She recalled in part one of this video that I said I wanted my own cinema, and so she has created this for me. It's wonderful. I'm sure you'll enjoy this. I had to actually mute the sound because it's copyrighted, but she had a suitable old-timey vintage song to go with it. Anyway, you'll hear it in silence. I'm definitely going now. Thank you so much, Sherry, for that, and thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.